Hello, 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 America. Hello, America. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Come on in. Y'all are welcome to come into the studio and living room and hear these views. Welcome to another Saturday with the Watch Dawgs. The Watch Dawgs is our weekly uh, show where we touch a little bit on subjects that we only briefly skimmed over. And it is also a show where we can do some investigative reporting. And that's what we'll do here. On this platform, we do investigative reporting. We do what our due diligence to get the truth out. So that's what we do here. So share, share, share. Let everybody know that we're here. Um, and we're going to have a lively discussion, a very lively discussion. We're going to start it off with something that's been on the radar for a little while. And we're going to start it off with the voter suppression that's going on in Georgia. Hello, Mike. What's going on? Good to see you watching. He watches us faithfully. He said when his ticker goes off, he hears it and he just chimes into our shows. Thank you, Mike. He said that's what you can do when you're self-employed. I got to have him on one of my other shows pretty soon. But we're going to get right into it and start talking about what we want to talk about today. And the first one I think was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the voter suppression. There's a lot of voter suppression going on all across the country. All across the country, they're trying to limit our votes. They're trying to suppress our votes so that they can win elections. And they have admitted it in the Supreme Court this week. One of the lawyers said that that's the only way that they can win is if they suppress our votes. And I hope the Supreme Court looks at that and say, well, if that's how you want to win, we're going to throw it out and change all these laws. Then Congress just passed a bunch of laws themselves this week in reference to voter suppression, a new voter rights bill that they just passed. But I doubt if it'll get past the Senate. It did pass in the House. These laws are, man, they go back to the 1960s. I'm telling you, this is why it's so important that we vote. It is so important that we vote. It is so important that we get everybody out to vote because they want to limit Sunday voting to one Sunday every election. One Sunday is all you get. It used to be 4. They cut it to 3, then 2, I believe, and now they just passed it in the House, and I think the Senate the next 2 days later it's only on one Sunday. It gets worse. It gets way worse than this. Believe me, it gets way worse than this. Let me see if I got it. I got it so you all can read it along with me. Where is it at? Here it is. They got limit Sunday voting to one optional Sunday each county. One Sunday. Restrict the use of the ballot drop boxes by requiring them to be located inside early voting locations. Requires a driver's license number, a state ID number, or a copy of photo ID to vote absentee. Sets a deadline to request absentee ballot 11 days before election. Disqualifies provisional ballots cast in the wrong precinct. Bans outside funding of elections from nonprofit organizations. Wow, really? Wow. Prohibits governments from mailing unsolicited absentee applications. If the government just can't send them to you no more, you got to ask for them. Creates instant runoff voting Instant runoff voting. Let me move this thing out my way. Creates instant runoff voting for military and overseas voters. Schedules runoffs 4 weeks after election day rather than the current 9 weeks. Prevents free food and drinks. You can't even get free food and drinks while you're waiting in line no more. That's, people diabetic, people tired, people thirsty. It restricts you from doing all that from now on. They're trying to do everything in their powers, everything in their power to make sure that our votes don't count. And this ought to enrage you. This ought to make you mad. Not only that, they have people inside our own governments that are helping them to suppress our votes. People inside that are really Democrats, supposed to be Democrats, are passing laws to help them further restrict and suppress us. You have the law that they're trying to pass to keep you out of the medians. Who be in the medians but us? My crew in particular, be in the medians holding signs. They don't want to compete with that. So what they do is pass a law to restrict that. And it's crazy. They do things and they do it in our face. They do it in our face, but they're telling us something. They're telling us something. See, they're telling us that we're still in charge. No matter what y'all did in January, we're still in charge. And I'll get to that part in a minute. But that's what they're telling us, that they're still in charge. Who are they targeting? They're targeting us. They're targeting us. That's who this for. They're targeting Democratic voters. I'm not talking black, white. They're targeting Democratic voters. That's what they do. They do this. They suppress the vote, and they're targeting us, all Democratic voters. They're not targeting Republican voters because they know that 90% of the time, they're going to go vote in line. So they don't care about anybody that's in line, except for don't feed you while you're in line. See, they even went to the line also, but don't feed you while you're in line. Don't bring you a chair while you're in line. Don't give you a drink while you're in line. So those things are to suppress our votes. And their message is that they're still in charge. They want to show us that they're really still in charge. It's plain and simple. Plain and simple. They're still in charge. Whether we like it or not, we think that we turned Georgia blue, but we didn't turn Georgia blue. We didn't. That's a myth. Warnock and Ossoff are there, but believe me, they want to show us that is nothing to them. That's what they want to show us, that is nothing to them. And that's what they're showing us by the way that they're acting. They're showing us that was nothing. They're passing laws to make sure that we don't elect another Ossoff and Warnock. That's what they do. They do this on purpose, So, hey, Sandra, discourage you from voting or from wanting to vote so you won't go. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to discourage us. Y'all share, invite your friends to come over and watch. We're going to get to a bunch of things today. I don't want to, we touched on these things briefly on the shows this week, but I wanted to talk a little bit longer on some of these subjects. They still think that, they know that the state is rigged. They know that was just an anomaly, and that in presidential elections, we come out, especially for the African American community, when there's a black on the ticket. So they know that they don't expect that to happen in 2 years when the House is up, when Warnock has to run over again because his term was only to fill a vacant term for 2 years. So he'll have 6 years if we can put him back in there. So they know, and they're getting ready for that. And the Democrats are just soft with how they do things. Um, um, my biggest thing is, where's the outcry? Where are the people wanting to complain about what's going on? Where are the people that are supposed to be our vanguards? Where are the people that are our elected leaders? They're not doing anything. They're all operating in silos. They aren't holding press conferences to show their unity, to show that they're on the same accord. This county especially is just terrible with operating in silos. They operate, everybody. You got the county board of elections, you got the school board, you got the city council, you got the county commission, you got the state representatives, you got the state senate. All these people, and you got the elected officials, that from the coroner to the DA to the sheriffs to the all these people need to be operating on one accord to make sure that our votes aren't suppressed and that the people are treated fairly. But when you operate in silos, which they want us to do, then that's what happens. We got some other comments. Sandra Kennedy, they have lost control. That's why they are enraged and need to pass laws like Jim Crow to regain control. They have lost. I don't know. I would have to beg to disagree with you on that. We just outvoted them this time, which we outnumbered them, but we never outvote them. This particular time, we outvoted them. Georgia's still red, believe that. Georgia's very much red, and they're showing you by passing these crazy draconian laws that they just passed. Georgia's still red, and things happen within the state for us that affects us, because the state people are still there controlling the Senate and the House on the state level. We were motivated, and we put those Warnock and Ossoff in office because we came out in droves and voted. We're a lazy bunch of people when it comes to Democrats getting back out to the polls. Ivan Cohen says, oppression, suppression, and repression, hypocrites will struck all over the world and say, look how democratic we, the United States, are. That's true. They go everywhere trying to install democracy and doesn't have it here in this country on a total level. Brett Campbell, if they claimed there was nothing wrong with the last election, why, other than making it harder to vote? Why make changes to defend their mistakes for not voting? That's correct. They are defending their mistakes for not voting, so they have to come up with ways to restrict our vote so it can make our numbers come down and theirs rise back up. So that's what the whole thing is about. I still want to know. I got some questions, and I want to know, where's the local NAACP? What are you going to say? Or I mean, what kind of game is this? You just is the NAACP just there to exist? Is there some reason why there is nobody doing anything at the NAACP? No voice, no nothing. We got to do something, people. It has to happen sometime. You have to just start standing up and say, we're going to, well, just complain, so we'll know you're there. You know, we're tired of these mass meetings every fourth Sunday that you have. You know, Chad is my good friend. Chad, we have to do something to rectify this. We really do have to do something. And I implore you to just come on out and y'all excuse me while I'm typing while I'm doing this too, to tell them to bring me up something. But we have to get more active and be proactive on top of these things, you know. And the NAACP, we are going to challenge you pretty soon to do what you're supposed to do in this neighborhood. If you're supposed to be the vanguard for our communities, then by all means, start doing what you're supposed to do. Please, just do what you're supposed to do. Get out there and advocate for the people. Demand that the white media come and cover you. You know, Yeah, that's why people are saying we're gonna get to that after a while too. One of the last things we're gonna get to is our media coverage and why you should support this platform, because this is the only media that you're gonna get that's gonna tell you any damn thing. You know, the NAACP should be out front doing what they're supposed to do. Where are you, NAACP? If you're a member of the NAACP, call the president. Well, I'm damn a member. What the hell I'm talking president? I'm gonna call him today. I'm gonna call him and ask him what are we gonna do about this and what do we need to do to get behind him to get something done. Whether he needs to come on all our shows and talk about it. We got 15 shows. You want to come on them and talk about it, then fine. You know, whichever one of the shows won't let you on, I'm sure they'll be happy to have you on. If you want to, I'm sure if you call a press conference for in Savannah and have all us there, we'll be there to stand behind you and you can say what you need to say. But you got to do something, man. You got to do something. And my next thing is to these pastors. Where are you, pastors? Where are you? What the hell are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Absolutely nothing. You go to a protest and you just carry yourselves instead of carrying your church. Come on, man. Y'all know better than that. Y'all can do better than this. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's just it's just disheartening. It's disheartening. I just got to come up with a cleaner word. It's disheartening, because the pastors, you're not supposed to be in the church trying to save people. You know, you're called, when you're called, come out into the world and save them. They're not supposed to go looking for you to be saved. You're supposed to go looking for them to save them. So what is your work? Is your work when you get to heaven, when you get to, you get to that crossroads, heaven and hell, which way is God going to pull you or the devil going to take you? You know, which way you going? Because you got to be able to stand on a solid ground. If you call to do something, then do it. Don't wait on nobody else. Reverend Smiles ain't waiting on nobody. The Reverend Gordon at Solomon Temple ain't waiting on nobody. Alan Maynard ain't waiting on nobody. I heard Clarence Thomas in his sermon. Clarence Teddy Williams in his sermon this week. He was even crying about it. So those pastors aren't waiting on nobody. What are y'all with the Marine Association or whatever that is you all got? You know, come on, man. Y'all find something to advocate for instead of just meeting to meet. Y'all just want to hear each other preach. We don't want to hear you preach. We want to hear you do some work. Do God's work. I know y'all don't want me talking about y'all preachers, but I ain't got no choice. If God puts something on my heart, I'm going to do it. God just ain't talking to them, I guess. So God ain't telling them to go do it. I guess they ain't going to do it. So I guess we just out of luck. I ain't going to say the other word. We just out of luck right now. You know, and like I said, we're still celebrating. They are planning and plotting. This is what they put forth, and this is what they got. They got this on us, y'all. They put this in effect on us. And because, you know why? Because the pastors are not doing their jobs. Our leaders are not doing their job. We have fake Democratic leaders who are at Republican events all the time, who have Republican campaign managers, and they fool us, and you all love them. You all are just in love with celebrities. It's just appalling to me, you know, that you won't wake up. Savannah is just 100 years behind every place else. It's crazy, you know. And I was just talking about that. I want to know, Mayor Johnson, is he a Republican? He's at a Republican event recently, eating lunch and having fun. And I just want to know, is he a Republican? This is him here having lunch. You know, he got to take his face mask off to eat, so don't y'all cry about him taking his face mask off, because I agree with him 100% on what he's doing about the face mask and COVID-19. But that's him there eating at a Republican event This is what they're telling me, that this was a Republican event. What is he there for if he's a Democrat? Stacey Abrams, come get your boy. Keisha Lance Bottoms, come get your friend. Come get your friend now. These your people. And who's this guy here standing up next to him talking? That's a police officer for the city of Savannah. But he had his own driver. He had his own driver that drives him to events. Wow, that's a nice job. That's a pretty nice job. He got his own driver. Awesome. Awesome. Got a bunch of comments. Let me see if I can get to them. I have 55 minutes today. Do y'all have an active president of the Savannah branch of the NAACP? Yes, we do. Just elected one. That's Chad Mance. He's the new attorney, Chad Mance. Carl Murray. Pastors are praying, man. Come on. Yeah, they praying, Carl, but there's no work being done. There's no work being done. Yes, the organization is. Individual members teeter to its philosophy. I don't know. Cecilia is watching. Hello, Cecilia. Commerce at Julius Hall, though. Okay. Anyway, I'm just I don't know. You know, we need to find out whether Van Johnson is a Republican, because he's going to all these Republican events, and he is not showing us where he's on the Democratic side to do anything these days. So we want to make sure that if he is a Democrat, why is he not a member of the CCDC, which is the Chatham County Democratic Committee? Why does he have to go around the CCDC every time and go to Atlanta to get his support? That means that he doesn't have. Van Johnson's a fake. You know, like I said, I like him as a man. I don't like him as a politician. But Van Johnson is a fake, and I'm not here. This is the bully pulpit for me to get on Van Johnson. I like what he's doing. One thing that he's doing, and he saved my life. And I appreciate you. I guess you saved my life with the COVID-19 restrictions. So I appreciate that, Mayor Johnson. But everything else you failed on, you get an F. You get an A on COVID, you get an F on everything else, because you're not advocating for this community. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. And the pastors, we're getting to you right now again. Yes, I got to have a second segment on the pastors. I'm through with Van Johnson until he does something else. Like I told you, he's the gift that just keeps on giving. And I don't want to talk about him. I don't. There's nothing for me to talk about with him. I got other issues on a national level that I'd rather talk about, on the state level that I'd like to talk about, but he just keeps doing these crazy things. Last night, reading Dr. Seuss. Who the hell want to hear him read about Dr. Seuss? Nobody want to hear him read Dr. Seuss. You know, he got 4,000 people watching last night. He reading Dr. Seuss instead of reading something motivational to the people. There wasn't no kids up 9 o'clock last night listening to him. Anyway, I digress. Let me get on with what I'm doing. The power of the black church. The black church is supposed to be powerful, but it seems like the black church has lost all of its kick. It seems like the black church has lost everything that has ever been built to do. The black church. What is your pastor doing? Is your pastor doing what he's supposed to be doing? We need to ask this question. Is your pastor doing what he's supposed to be doing? Is your pastor doing enough? The black church, that's where we all went all our lives. And that's where we all grouped up at. That's where we met at. And before I was a teenager back in the 50s, I mean, I'm not that old, but my mom and all back in the 50s and 60s, 50s and 40s, they would go to the black church to meet, to plan, to plot against the evil system. You know, what is the black church's role in today's world? What is it? What is it? Is it, I'm trying to figure it out. Is the church now a business, or is it just a failure? Is it a business, or is it just a failure? That's what we need to find out. The church. What is the role of the black church? I'm having trouble with it. I promise you. I just don't know what to do. I call these pastors out, but they don't care. And I guess that's where they all get it from. They realize that if they don't say anything bad, then the people are just going to let it die. But I'm here to tell you that we have a new sheriff in town, and the new sheriff and the system that we got, we're going to hold everybody accountable. All your pastors, whether you hold them accountable or not, we're going to hold your pastors accountable. Carl said that was a typo. Sonny McKenna said he's eating across the aisle. Okay, yeah, he's eating. That's a good one. Faith without work is dead. They need to stop praying, right? And do some work. They need to step up and come out. The church still paying them. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Is the church now a business to these pastors? Everybody want to open up a church. You know, is the church now a business? A business? Or is it just a failure? Because they have to answer to God after a while. Because what they're doing in these churches is just not of God. You know, they got ATMs in the hallway now because they say God told them to put it there so they could get their 10%. Y'all know what churches it is. Y'all all members of them. Got them ATMs in there. You know, all you want is money. You have a building fund for 100 years and they ain't building nothing, but the community is being torn down. You don't want to come out and advocate for nothing. Every time you get a little snippet of what you want to do, you come out and you only bring 10 or 12 of you instead of bringing 200 or 300 of you. People understand numbers in this city here. That's the only thing they understand in the world. But in this city in particular, if you don't show them, they don't care. If you don't come out and really do what you're supposed to do, they don't care. We want to know, what is the church's obligation to the community? What is the church obligation to the community? We need to know this. We need to know. We need to know. What are you doing, pastors? I challenge each one of y'all. Y'all got my numbers. Call me. Y'all can come on the show and tell me what your obligation to the community is. If it's not supposed to be doing what we're asking you to do, advocating that no more poverty be brought by putting that Salvation Army out there in West Savannah, Marshall Buford, come on the show and tell us why we should have that there. You know, tell us a good reason why we should put poverty on top of poverty. You know, if a Berean society, if y'all want to send somebody and articulate y'all's message to the Chatham County residents, then please do so. Come on out. Let us know what your true obligation is. If you're called by God, are you supposed to be advocating for the people? And then you got groups of you that are doing it. Jesus did it by himself, and he called the 12 disciples. Can you all? Y'all got a group that has hundreds of clergy in it. Hundreds. That means that y'all can bring just those people there and cause the ruckus. But why only 10 or 12 of y'all show up? Y'all just like the rest of the population. Y'all ain't got time for us. And the people shouldn't have time for you. You're just collecting a check, man. Some of these pastors making $200,000 a year. $200,000 a year to lead a church. But they won't bring the church to help the community. Those people in your church, pastor, are the ones that are suffering in these neighborhoods. But they love and adore you so much that they don't want to challenge you. Talking about touch not my anointed. What? These people ain't anointed. These people are just paid employees. You know, it's crazy. Yeah, well, my last topic for today, because I got to get out to the Weeping Time Festival, and it's from 12 to 4 today, the Weeping Time Festival. It's out on Bay Street this year. Bay Street, right in front of, I think, the Family Dollar there, on Bay, right in front of the Hudson Hill, where Blake gas station used to be at. It's on that empty lot. I believe that's where it's at this year. They locked down the Weeping, the Bato site. I'm going to talk about that in a minute also. But my thing is, um, we have, I had that wrong. Okay. Um, but but we need to all, before we get to why we should support this platform, we need to make sure that we understand that the church is either dead or dying. And pastors, if you don't breathe new life into it, if you don't breathe new life into it, uh, we don't have anywhere to go. We can't run to our elected leaders. We can't ask our community leaders to do anything either. And because everybody's being brought off or already sold, and so the church is our last stand. And you're either dead or you're dying. And before it's your duty before, and yeah, I can tell you what your duty is because I pretty much know it. Your duty is to make sure that you do all you can for God's people. And that don't mean just giving them a sermon every Sunday. That don't mean just giving them a sermon every Sunday. They don't need a sermon every Sunday. What they need is for you to come out and advocate on their behalf. Some of these people idolize you. They idolize you more than they do Jesus and God. So come out and help the people. But you already know that. So you're taking advantage of it. You know that they're not going to kick you out of the church. So you're not worried. So you have nothing to fear. So I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I'm a little upset with the things that are going on. I promise not to be with you long today because I got to go out to the weeping time. And I sound like a pastor just now. But anyway, we're going to get back to why we should support this platform. They have given us reasons why we should support this platform. You see at the bottom of the ticker, it say, please consider being a sponsor of this platform. Just by giving a small monetary support so that we can continue to bring you these programs. We got 15 programs, 5 more coming on, and 4 or 5 more coming on after that. So we'll have 25 to 30 shows on this platform. And there's a lot of y'all out there watching. Your $5 matter. Your $20 matter. Your $100 matter. Give to the platform. It ain't for me. It's for me to pay these producers and pay for these apps and pay for these websites and do the things that needs to be done to keep us alive so that we can bring you the news, entertainment, sports, religion, comedy, everything, talk, everything that you are not getting from mainstream media. Mainstream media is not going to give you the truth. We're going to give it to you and just give it to you and let you decide. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to decide what is right and what is wrong. We want you to be able to challenge your pastor and your elected leader and your organization leaders and your community leaders on a level that you have an understanding on. We don't want you to go there with ignorance so he can shut you down with a Bible verse. We want you to go there and understand that you need to challenge these people to do the right thing. And that's all it is. It's just doing the right thing these days. We've evolved into somebody I don't even recognize anymore. But why we should support this platform. If you noticed in the news this week, they had Bernetta Lanier, Alderwoman Bernetta Bryant Lanier. They did a slanted story on her. They did a real slanted story on her. There's a white media bias, people. There really is a real white media bias. And it is to silence us. It is a coordinated effort that they have in place, and that's those people I'm looking for. They and I tell you who they are when I know who they are. This is the press, it's the elected officials, the Chamber of Commerce. It's all these people who are getting paid that see us as a threat. Not just this platform. They see our voice, our presence, in leadership as a threat. So they manipulate they manipulate the systems and the processes to get at us. So it's they. That's who my they is right now. So I called them out, and they know who they are. The chamber and the news media and some government officials, they are all in cahoots. And we have some black ones in it also that are all also in cahoots with them. They put token people on the Chamber of Commerce just so they can have one or two. But I guarantee you, the people on the Chamber of Commerce, nobody knows them unless you've gone to a Chamber of Commerce meeting. Nobody knows them. One of my best friends in the world is on it, but nobody knows him. One of my best friends. Well, we were best friends. I still like to think that we best friends. He's on it. He's on the chamber. But he doesn't come in the community to do nothing. Nothing. But what they send him to do. There's nothing else that this man does. He's my friend. And like I tell you, everybody gets it here. Everybody. They put token Negroes in positions to hold us back. That's what they do. And y'all don't understand it. They put your pastors in position to hold us back. But y'all don't understand it. That's why you got to support this platform. See, and when you find somebody that's not afraid, help that person. Help that person. If you find something that is not afraid of the system, work with it. This is what we're here for. They assailed this woman in the press the other day and lied. They talked about a developer that she was associated with. She had no idea that this man was sending this thing in and putting her company, a company that she was associated with, in the proposal. So the press gets it from some sneaky snitching community elected officials, whoever they are, and that's what I called you, a sneaky backstabbing elected official. The press gets it from them, and they run with it. The press didn't do their due diligence. They didn't investigate anything at all. All they did was get the paperwork from whoever gave it to them, and it was old paperwork. Secretary of State's paperwork. Had they did their due diligence, they would have found that the paperwork, the name changed, and Burnett is no longer over that organization. They would have found that out, but they reported that she still was. Have they issued a retraction yet? I seriously doubt it. Should they be sued? I seriously believe so. And they talked about a developer in that same proposal. Have they told us who that developer is? Did they do their due diligence to find out how many employees that developer has, or how much money, how much that company is worth? We want to know who the developer is, because I heard that the developer is fundless. They don't have any money. So how can they build what they build? It was just a proposal. So now they want to report it to the world and make it look like this other person has a ulterior motive to gain from it. Then they want to quote the policy for her being in an illegal position. But they didn't tell us, how can you gain from somebody that got nothing? Absolutely nothing. How can you gain from it? WTOC, they left out all the facts. They didn't do no investigation. And this was a hit job, a real hit job. And we know who was behind it. Ain't but one person on there smart enough to be behind it. And he had his little lackey, who the press loves to probably reported to him, because anytime his little lackey call, the press runs to him because they want him to be the next mayor. And we're gonna make sure that don't happen though. This developer is fundless and non-existent, but the WTOC didn't do their due diligence. See, when you're gonna say something of that magnitude, then you need to be able to just follow the money, follow the science, follow everything. Just follow who giving you the information and why they giving it to you. You know, everything they report on these women are bad. Everything. Keisha Gibson Carter's out in the neighborhood now doing a trash pickup with about 30 people. Are they reporting that? No, but when Dietrich put some trash cans over there on 36, some big dumpsters on 36 and Waters, and he did no work, he just had the trash cans put there, they reported that. Come on, man. It's not fair. They're trying to create the narrative for us, and we're letting them. What is the real motive behind Ivory Bay and Bernetta Lanier? The real motive behind the whole thing is to make the community and the neighborhood better. It's to lower the poverty rate and the crime rate. That's what it's there for. That's what they're doing. That's what this whole thing is for, is to try to create a livable wage for the residents out there. It is to not have potholes in the roads everywhere out there in every street in our neighborhoods. Our neighborhoods have it, but going to the white neighborhoods and their streets are just as smooth. You don't have to worry about going around a car and wrecking or nothing because of pothole. There is no upkeep. The little parks that we have are not even clean like they are downtown and in other neighborhoods, the city-owned parks. We are being neglected, and we are a majority Black administration. And they are not doing anything that they're supposed to do to make sure that we're taken care of. We've been marginalized. We've been overlooked. We've been left behind, and we need help. And the only time, I know we got to wait 3 years before we put these people out of office, but it does take pressure now to make them understand and see that what they're doing is wrong. We need to fight against Black people that are holding Black people back. That's what's happening. We got Black people holding Black communities and neighborhoods back. Why? Well, it's a design, and they're telling you that they're not. They're telling you that what they're doing is for the best interest of that community. But they went out and represented that community for 16 years. And you know how bad it was. You cried every week. We were behind you for mayor because you cried every week about your neighborhood not getting what it needed. Now, when you become the mayor, you have not done anything for the community. Name one thing you've done out there, man. Not one damn thing. Nothing. And the pastors are giving you a break. All of them want to take photo ops with you. Hell, y'all want to take a photo op with this man? For God is not going to bless you for taking a photo with this man. Hell wrong with y'all? Y'all pastors done lost y'all mind. Hey, get no mind. Wow, man, it's just crazy. It's crazy. But we need to challenge these pastors to stand up or to leave the pulpit. Stand up or leave the pulpit. That's what you need to do. The church needs to stand up. Don't put him out for having a sexual affair or being gay or robbing you. Make him stand up before you get him to all those things. Come on, man. It's crazy. I'll get to those comments after a while. I see it's a bunch of them. I'll get to them in a few minutes. That will wind it down doing those things. I only have about 10 minutes left. But I wanted to show y'all this Salvation Army put up new stuff. Look at this here. Salvation Army put that up. New fencing after we had Stop the Violence rally on that exact same spot, right on the other side of those gates. We had now Arlene Davis has went out and put up this expensive fence on some property that the housing authority is giving away. They're giving this property away to the Salvation Army, and you went and spent all this money to put fence up because you don't want nobody there. Look at this here, man. This is new fencing. It costs to put a wood fence like that up. Look at it. That's what we had to stop the violence rally at. She did not want us to have to stop the violence rally on this property. She went out there and asked them, who told you you could have, you gave you permission to use this property? New fencing, y'all, housing authority. And she got, see the lock on it? She want to make sure that you don't cross it. She want to make sure. Look at it. No trespassing beyond this fence. Housing Authority of Savannah. Violators will be prosecuted. New fencing, y'all. New fencing. It's just terrible when we have black people holding black people back. That property was there. Allen used it to hold a Stop the Violence rally, and she was there to call the police. She was there to call the police on him, but she couldn't call the police. You know why she couldn't call the police? Because the police was already there giving speeches. The sheriff was there. The DA was there. The city police was there. The county police was there. All the investigators was there. So who's she gonna call? She couldn't call the police on the police. It's just crazy. You know, we can't continue to support people who don't support us. We've been foolish enough all these years to support people who don't support us. But, and like I said, on this Bartow site, where are the pastors? Pastors, you are absent and you are AWOL. You are absent without leave. You are absent without leave. Get on your jobs, pastors. Get on your jobs. There's work to be done. And you ain't working. You comfortable. You in the air conditioner. That's what happened to our kids. As soon as we, that would happen to all of us, really. We got lazy. As soon as they invented the air conditioner, we closed our doors and we're not on the porch so we can see what the kids doing in the community no more. We used to be on the porch every day so we could be the police of everybody in the neighborhood. Because you couldn't get by Miss Ann or Miss Kathy over there or Miss Gloria because she'll call your mama. The pastors, you are neglecting your duties. God is not going to bless you, and I'm here to tell you that. This is your warning before destruction. This is your warning before destruction. And you know damn well you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You know it. You know it. And I'm talking to every pastor who ain't on board, supposed to be doing what you're supposed to do in this community. I'm talking to all of you. It's hard in here. Because you have an obligation to this community. You have a duty and an obligation to God if you are called. If you are not called, then I understand you're not supposed to be there. You're just fooling the church. You're just collecting a check. I understand that. But if you are called, like you say you're called, there's no reason for you not to take up the shield and defend those people everywhere that they're supposed to be defending. In each neighborhood where you see that something is being wrong, but you don't want to challenge your friend. Now, I'm going to call names after a while to these pastors. I don't care because y'all know they don't help me pay my truck note and they don't help me pay my house note either. So I don't care. Ain't nothing they could do to me. They could pray for me. And if they're a good pastor, then maybe their prayers will be heard. You know, God or him. But if they're not, it's going to fall on the devil's ears. So you can ask the devil to come get me. He can't do nothing with me. God has me on a mission. So I'm not worried about none of that. God has me on a mission to get done. You know, but the pastors, you're failing the people. NAACP, you're failing the people. You know, you really are. I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna get to these comments. I want to invite anybody on. If you think I offended you, come see me and we can talk and we can get you on the show so we can have a debate. I don't mind talking to you. I don't mind listening to your point of view. The people want to hear it. We got 15 shows. You can come on any of them and talk. I got 15 comments up here. Let me see. I'm only going to read them. I can't get into them because I ain't got but 5 minutes. Ivan Cohen said, dry bones in the pulpit. Yeah, it's dry bones in the pulpit, Ivan. Cecilia Cook said, can these bones live? I guess they can. Simply, there are not many Martin Luther King Jr. type pastors in this town. Ain't none but Reverend Smalls, Reverend Allen, Maynard, and Reverend Gordon. Teddy is trying to stand up but you know, they got a little fear in Teddy because Teddy was with the black media. No all black media, no white media thing. So Teddy don't want to ridicule him again. But Teddy, we got your back. You can come on out all the way. We got your back. You can come on out. Natalie Leggett say, unpack that threat. Why do they feel that way? Why are we a threat? We haven't threatened anyone. I don't know. Carl Murray said, what is his name? Who name, Carl? I might call it if you tell me who you're talking about. I don't remember what I said. Hello, my friends. Hey, Terry and Natalie say they feel threatened because they know the horrors of what they've done to us as a community. And if they were us, they would be out for revenge. That is absolutely correct. They fear us because they know what they have done. That's true too, Natalie. Carl Murray said, we are not asking our mayor or city council to create racist policy. We are asking for them to repair some of the disparity of the black communities. Absolutely correct, Carl Murray. You should run for mayor, Carl Murray. I work on your campaign for free. Seriously, Carl Murray has always been a level-headed thinker person who only wants to see the community do well. I got to give him that. He is a champion of the people. Ivan Cohen said, these pastors who circle their wagons around this man have wobbly wheels. The canvas which cover their wheels have dry rot. I hope they have, Ivan, and they fall on off. I got about 3 or 4 minutes. Ivan say, HUD in Washington, D.C. should have a new secretary by now. Time to contact him or her and pull the covers off of what is taking place with the property. Probably ain't a bad idea, Ivan. Somebody needs to, because they don't think that we can go around them. So probably that needs to be done. Earlene Davis is my cousin. Are they going to check for sex offenders at the Salvation Army? I don't know, Cecilia. You probably have to ask your mayor. Like I said, everybody can get it on this campaign. Even Earlene Davis, she's my cousin. She reminds me of that every time I see her. I don't hold nothing back. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And I believe that she's wrong on this point. I believe that she's advocating to give this property to these people for some reason. I'm not going to say anything that I don't know. So I don't know what the reason is, other than to just put the homeless there, and that is a good thing. The property's been vacant for I used to live there a long time ago. I grew up in Bateau Projects, and Fairwood Projects also, but they tore Fairwood down also and built sustainable Fairwood. But we don't know what the deal is. All we know is that we need to support this platform. Y'all see the stroller at the bottom? Please give. This stroller will be on all our shows. It tells you that just cash out whatever you can give. We are welcoming of anything. Your dollar counts. If 1,000 of y'all give $1, we got 30,000 people watching this platform a month. If 1,000 of y'all gave $1 a month, it would take care of the bills. And right now I'm footing everything, and it's a stress. Plus having to run and do all the work with my other 3 partners. But this isn't a platform to really do anything wrong. We're here to bring information and to do what's right for the community. I got 1 or 2 other comments, and we're going to go. You're collecting an offering. My wife want to know whether I'm collecting an offering. I guess I don't know. Was I preaching? I wasn't preaching. I was just trying to wake the preachers up. All you all who are out there, tell a preacher to watch this. You can watch it on All Things Relevant Media on Facebook. You can see a rerun that's on there anytime, 24 hours a day. You can go to ATR Black Media Network on YouTube and watch it. It's right there for you to see. We're open to you to look at this platform. It is only for us to give the right information to you so that we can uplift this community, not bring it down. We're not here to cause a problem. We're here to give you the news that you can use, not the news to confuse. Okay, so that's what we're here for. We got a new show coming up. Well, it's not new. It's been on this the 5th week, I believe. Let's talk about it. They're on next, so stay tuned. If you don't have nothing to do, I got to run to the weeping time. I'll be watching it while I'm in my car. It comes on next. Stay tuned for Let's Talk About It. It's a young show for young people to get involved. We're going to bring you everything on this platform that we can bring you, but please consider giving a donation, sponsoring us if you're a business. Okay? Sponsor us if you're a business, and I'll take up the collection. Anyway, good night, good evening, and if you got time, come out to the Weeping Time Festival. Come out to the Weeping Time Festival. That's where I'm headed. Come out to the Weeping Time Festival and enjoy the festivities out there.